Everybody wants gravy. If they say they don't want gravy, they're lying. Everybody wants gravy. This is what's at the bottom of the roasting pan when I took the turkey out. There's some liquid in the bottom. Part of it's fat and part of it is liquid from the actual bird itself. We're gonna use that. We're gonna put some flour into the fat. It's gonna thicken up like a roux, and then we're gonna add some stock. We have some stock here that we made earlier from the last time we had a roasted chicken. This really is gonna up the flavor of your gravy. Definitely try and get some kind of a stock. If you can skip the stuff in a jug, because it tastes like the stuff in a jug, but if that's all you got, it'll do. So, chicken stock's gonna get hot. The reason we want the chicken stock to be hot is it's gonna thicken better when the stock is hot and the roux is hot. You want those two things to be about the same temperature. So I've got a bit of flour here, and I'm gonna turn this pan on, this roasting pan. I'm gonna put the roasting pan right on the burner. I've got a couple tools. I got a little wooden spoon here. I'm gonna start with that guy because I want to get all the bits unstuck from the bottom of the roasting pan. So I got all the bits off the bottom. Now I'm just gonna sprinkle the flour on it. I'm not gonna try and separate it out from the fat. This works just fine. So that's a couple tablespoons of flour chucked in there. I'm gonna grab my whisk quickly here. That'll help the flour mix in a little better. And you see it's starting to get thick already. That's not the gravy yet. That's just what we're making here called a roux. A roux is a French term for flour and fat mixed together, and it's gonna make your sauce thick. You gotta be careful at this stage not to burn it too much. But if you can let it cook for a little while, you can cook out some of the floury taste. And when you get rid of the floury taste, you can even let the flour brown a little bit. That'll give you an even deeper flavor to your gravy. At this point, you could put it all into a pot if you wanted, but I've always just done it right here on the stove in the pan. At this point, I'm gonna put a little bit of seasoning into it. You can put all kinds of stuff in here to get the seasoning going. I'm a sucker for a poultry stuffing blend. If you're gonna put stuffing in your turkey and you put in sage and thyme and those kind of flavors, they make a great seasoning for your gravy too. Just a little bit. You just want it in the background. So things are getting hot. I'm gonna take my ladle and I'm gonna start ladling in scoops of the hot stock. You do one scoop, and then you stir until it becomes incorporated and starts to look like a sauce. You can move your pan around to make it even. You keep adding stock and you keep stirring. And you cook for a few minutes, and then it's gonna start to thicken. Once it thickens a little bit, then you know it's time to add a little bit more of your stock. A little bit of this stuff caramelizing on the bottom of the pan is not bad. That's adding some flavor. It's getting thick. Add some more juice. You always want to make sure you make enough gravy. You want to err on the side of making too much, not too little, because there's so many great things you can do with your leftover gravy. Turkey sandwiches, turkey curry, turkey casserole, or just have a cup of gravy if you're some sort of savage. This takes a little bit of time, but this is the final step. This is really what ties it all together. I think gravy is really what makes your turkey dinner great. If you don't alternate putting in your stock in your gravy and you throw in all of the liquid into the roux at once, it's not gonna thicken and it might even split on you. And then you're gonna have this weird, oily, liquidy, runny business, and that's not gravy. So you can see the gravy starting to thicken up here as we go. We need to let it cook for a little while longer. You need to let your gravy cook for a little while because you want the floury, starchy taste to come out of it. It'll only take maybe 15 or 20 minutes. But the longer you can let it go, the smoother it's gonna taste. You don't want it to be taste chalky. All right, the gravy's really come together here. You want it to be thick, but not wallpaper paste. You don't want it to be thin and split. You want it to cover the meat. You want it to add a little bit of heat, so you want to serve it nice and hot. Get some kind of a serving dish, preheat it. I find just putting boiling water in it usually helps. You can always heat it up in your oven. To see if you've got the right thickness, you want to see how it looks on the back of a spoon. That's just about right. You want a nice smooth coating over top of the meat. You don't want your gravy to be too pasty. So they say that if you can run your finger through it and it will hang just like that, that's just about right. I taste for the salt, a bit of the acid, how it feels, and if it tastes any bit of floweriness to it. It tastes pretty good. It's got enough salt in it. I might squirt a little bit of fresh lemon juice on it right at the end just to help cut through the fat. But otherwise, It's pretty spot on. You could strain it at this point into another dish or something if you would like. You can take out some of the bits, but it's not necessary. They're all edible and it's all flavor, so you're just fine to leave them in. That's gravy. Enjoy your turkey. Have a great Christmas, holiday, whatever you're doing while you're eating this turkey. Have a good time. It's about family and friends. Good food helps everyone get along.